The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Many tourists have started flocking to the beaches in Batangas just days after the onslaught of Tropical Storm Dante. Romel Lopez joins us live from Lian in Batangas to tell us more. Hi, Romel. How is the situation over there in Batangas? Are the LGUs over there still able to enforce COVID-19 protocols?
Yes, Sean, unfortunately, health protocol violations are evident here in Matacubong, Batangas as visitors have started to arrive. Tourists are everywhere in the beachfront with little to no regard for social distancing. Most of the beachgoers are from the province, while some are from the NCR Plus bubble. To come here from the NCR Plus, the LGU of Lian, Batangas, requires a negative RT-PCR result taken at least 5 days before arrival or a negative antigen test result 3 days before arrival. Fully vaccinated people can easily enter the province as long as they can provide proofs of the inoculation. We met a family who said that almost half of them have already completed their COVID-19 vaccinations. Still, they are carefully following minimum health protocol standards like social distancing and wearing of face masks. And the Tourism Office of Lian has advised tourists to keep their face masks on if they are outside and not swimming. Let's listen to the sentiments of the tourists and the LGU.
Katulad ko, vaccinated na. Saka yung halos kalahati ng pamilya namin, vaccinated na.
Kaya medyo
Oo, pero ganun pa rin kahit na vaccinated kami. Sumusunod pa rin kami sa protocol. Mask, alcohol, hugas ng kamay, ganun pa rin. Walang pinagkaiba. Kaya lang nasa beach kami, hindi na kami nagmask kasi pagka nabasa itatapon lang. So pampadumi lang siya sa dagat.
Sa moment po na lumabas ng hotel o ng room sa resort, ang mask natin, kung hindi naman po sila mag-swim, may bibiliin lang or may pupuntahan lang somewhere, required po na dapat sila ay naka-face mask. Mas safe naman po siya dahil hindi naman po enclosed area. Yun nga lang, yung social distancing po talaga ang pinakapuhunan natin pagdating sa safety.
Sean, the Lian LGU says that they have a manageable COVID-19 situation with 25 active cases at present. Sean?
Thank you for that update. Stay safe down there in Batangas and try to enjoy the fresh air. That was Romel Lopez joining us live. And several vessels stationed at the Navotas fish port were found to be discharging wastewater into the Manila Bay upon inspection by the Environment Department. Shyla Francisco has the full report.
The beach nourishment project along the Baywalk is starting to show positive results. The water in the area is less polluted and there's no longer a foul smell. But this is not the case in other parts of Manila Bay. Floating trash and dead animals can be seen at the docking area of the Navotas fish port. The Environment Department was also alarmed upon learning that some vessels are being repaired and cleaned in the sea. DNR officials warned that metal debris and other residue coming from these vessels could contaminate the water. These prompted the agency and the Philippine Coast Guard to inspect sea vessels along the Manila Bay to ensure that they are complying with environmental protocols.
Walang malinaw na proteksyon yung ating karagatan doon sa nakikita nating shipyard ng mga dinaanan natin, So they do their business sa dagat. Pwede ka maglinis sa dagat as long as kontrolado mo kung saan napupunta yung wastewater mo. But based on what we've seen, walang control yung wastewater niya Talagang humahalo na lang siya sa tubig dagat.
Dito kasi sa tabi ko ba?
Bawas or umiihi. Saan po pumupunta yung wastewater?
Direct, ma'am. Direct sa tubig.
Yung alin, sir?
Lahat po. Panginginaw, paligo, laba. Ngayon yung...
The DNR also met with operators and crew of batil boats or wooden cargo vessels to check on their wastewater disposal. Under an existing Coast Guard circular, vessels weighing at least 400 tons are required to have their own waste treatment facility.
Captains say vessels such as this are not required to have their own septic tank or waste treatment facility. That's why all their wastewater goes straight into the sea.
Despite this, there are only specific areas provided for smaller vessels to release their wastewater. The DNR is now planning to ask the Transportation Department to update the circular because it is outdated, especially with the ongoing cleanup in Manila Bay. For their part, operators admitted that discharging wastewater into the bay has been a long-standing practice among them. They are willing to comply, however, it will take time for them to adjust.
Ang implementation rin po, kung anong pasusunod nila, palagyan kami ng sewage, obligado kami maglagay. Baka naman po pwede nilang mahintay na kung kailan mag-dry dock. Halimbawa, next year magda-dry dock na. So mapapagbigyan nila kami dapat, gano'n. Mahirap maglagay ng ganyan pagka agad-agad.
For now, the DNR is planning to have a meeting with shipyard owners to discuss where to properly dispose their wastewater. The agency has also conducted water sampling to check on the metal content, oil and grease level, and fecal coliform in these areas. Results are expected to be released in a week. Shaila Francisco, we are One News.
In other news, the health department has reported over 7,400 new COVID-19 infections today. And this has brought the total caseload to above 1,255,000, some 60,000 of which are still active. The virus killed 181 more in the last 24 hours, pushing the death toll to more than 21,500. Meanwhile, recoveries now stand at 1,173,000, with over 2,300 new survivors logged today. We're going to pause for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Stay tuned. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Former House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano says he is seriously considering running for president in next year's national elections. In an online press briefing, Cayetano said he is, quote, really praying and discerning hard about it. But the Taguig Patero Solon noted that he is now focused on his financial aid proposal in Congress. Cayetano also called on other presidential aspirants to take part in putting together a 5-year plan for the country.
I'm seriously considering running for president or for other positions. So I think anyone and everyone who is qualified and could be a good president should now contribute in putting together a 5-year plan.
And here are other stories we're keeping our eyes on. The Education Department reports that around 4.5 million learners have registered for school year 2021 to 2022. Region 4A tallied the most number of early registrants at more than 480,000 as of May. And the IATF has approved the provisional conduct of licensure examinations from July to September this year. The PRC, or Professional Regulation Commission, has been asked to submit a list of venues and dates to mobilize resources and prepare for safety protocols. And McDonald's Philippines has disowned a viral fake ad that seemingly ridiculed Jollibee's fried towel incident. In a statement, McDonald's Philippines said it would not produce any disparaging material against any brand. Officials in Sri Lanka are trying to head off a potential environmental disaster after a fire-damaged container ship sank off of the country's coast. Bloomberg's Aaron Clark discusses that in this video. Let's watch it.
Yes, what we know, what's been reported right now, Rumi, is that the ship was carrying about 1,500 containers on it. Within that cargo, there was about 25 tons of nitric acid and other chemicals. There was even cosmetics on board. And there were also thousands of very tiny plastic pellets that are used by the plastics industry in manufacturing. And so, there's concern that if this cargo has spilled, and there is evidence that some of it has spilled into the ocean, that there'll be quite a significant impact on the local environment, on people's livelihoods, fishermen, and potentially on the tourist industry, going forward. There's also a concern that fuel from the vessel may leak. It was carrying about 300 tons of fuel, and so authorities are watching for that right now.
Some U.S. states are aiming to restrict support for their trans communities, which is why tech startups are now stepping up to provide trans people with much-needed telehealth services. Let's hear more from this Bloomberg Quick Take. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.